What's up? What's up? We're here with another episode of BoomBox Weekly.
You're listening to BoomBox Weekly.
What's up, family? Back with another dope episode of BoomBox Weekly, and we got a hot one in the building, man. I'm Omar Cook. Yo, I'm with my dope host.
I'm new. Nice to be on the show again. It's been a while, y'all, so we're gonna get into some things. This is some tea.
Already, yo. We got an entertainment special for you, yo. Swisyzinna is in the building. Film director, how you doing today?
I'm doing amazing, just shaking it fast and watching myself.
You know,
Ow.
I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely. So thank you for joining us on the show, yo.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. It's not often that we've had a lot of film directors that are actually women. You know what I'm saying? Black women at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So
I'll take it.
major.
Yeah.
And you're doing some major things.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Absolutely. So we want to hear about your story, you know what I'm saying? And the people out there want to hear about it too.
Okay, well, let's see. The condensed version is that I started acting at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
And then fast forward, I became a part of a Ouija franchise that started filming out of Texas.
Okay.
And then it blew up, and it was like I had this crazy cult following. Like I had fans in like Dubai, and then they dubbed me, and I was speaking in German, but it wasn't me, but it was my voice. It was cool,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I was like, if I'm gonna move to LA, now's the time. Back in the day, y'all, I had my DVD was in Walmart, so you
Yeah.
know I'm talking about
Okay,
something, okay?
Yeah.
So then I
time.
come, and then when I first get here, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm doing things. I'm working with Kevin Hart. Like, I'm doing stuff. I'm like, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
And then 366th day, everything just felt like it stopped.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, what do we do now? And my husband, he was like, well, you know, you just need to direct. You just need to write your own stuff. You need to produce. And I was like, absolutely not. I am an actress. I'm classically trained. That's what I do. And he was like, okay, yeah, and I'm going to need you to start creating projects. And he just kept drilling me, and I kept denying. And then I had like this whole little mini personal breakdown where I was like, what is happening to my life? And then when I got up off the floor, I was like, I should probably write something and produce it and direct it. And he was like, I thought I said that. And so I did. And our first project from our production company, I shot 5 shorts.
Okay.
And called it Firstborn.
Okay.
And then from there, I was signed on to shoot 2 episodes of Stepford Side Chicks, which is our Emmy-nominated show, which is super dope. I went in the first day on the pilot episode and was offered the entire series that day.
Wow, that's big.
Then we went into season 2, and COVID happened.
Yeah.
So everybody stop hounding me about season 3, y'all. Stop hounding me about season 3. It's written. Give me some money. And then during COVID, I was like, I want to go back to school. I want to do something. So I was just like, I'm going to go get my master's.
Okay.
I'm going to get my master's in directing. And then I was like, well, it's COVID. I'm going to get my master's. I'm going to do a double master's. And I'm going to get my master's in directing and acting.
Mm.
And that's what I did.
Okay.
And then for your thesis project, I decided all you have to do is shoot a short.
Oh.
I said, I'm going to shoot a feature.
Yeah. Next
and
level.
I shot Death PhD that is now streaming on on Vudu Fandango at home, and it's doing amazing. And it's a black horror film, all black, a majority black cast. It's amazing, and it's doing very well. So that's the origin story. Actress turned director. Even though I directed back in the day, because I come from stage. I'm classically trained on stage. So I've toured the United States. I've toured Europe as an actress. And I've had the opportunity to direct and choreograph and things like that. But, you know, it was never supposed to be my job.
Gotcha.
It was the thing that I did while I was doing my job.
Right.
Now, it happens to be my job.
Yeah.
And then I just act when people call me like offer only.
Yeah.
Yo, you said so much.
Yeah. I was thinking about like,
I'm sorry. I was
wonder
like,
if
let
we
me
can-
put it in there.
I appreciate that great
Absolutely.
synopsis because I have so many questions now.
Okay.
So-
I hope I set you up.
You did. So
Okay.
I want to go back to when you
Yes.
said that when you were going through everything you were going through and you fell on the floor and
Oh,
you were
yeah.
just, why do you feel like you had to go through that, or what part of that process made you realize like, okay, I need to take the advice and this is something that I'm really gifted at. It's not just something that, a job to do.
Well, you know what I've realized about myself is that I blocked my own blessings along the way a long time ago.
Mm.
So a lot of times I had a lot of opportunities to do other things in the entertainment field, and I turned them down always.
Right.
I started a musical theater, so I used to sing and everything. So if I booked a musical theater job, and I was singing, I was fine.
Yep.
But if you came to me and asked me to sing and be a part of a band or travel, I would turn you down because I was like, I'm an actress who happens to sing. So what happened was when I got here, in my mind, I had been doing it for so long, I didn't expect there to be any type of pitfalls for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because why would
Your
there be?
experience and just,
But
That-
LA
yeah.
tells you, it teaches you very quickly. It does not care about your experience or your background or anything.
Nothing.
You could come from Broadway
Yeah.
and come to LA and can't work.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. And on the East Coast, it's about talent, and LA is about who you know. And so that's just the
Yeah.
way the cookie crumbles.
Absolutely.
So when I broke down the way I did, because like my husband, I was literally on the floor, fetal position, bawling, like, how is this even happening? How is this my life? And being in very close proximity to all of my friends are on television, series regulars,
Right.
number 1, 2, 3 on the call sheet, and
Yeah.
you're like,
in a waiting season.
Right.
And so I had to get up. I just had to get up. Like I was meant to be on the floor.
Right.
I was meant to break.
Right.
I was meant to cry. I just wasn't meant to stay there. And so the only way for me to purposely get back up was to take it into my own hands.
Yeah.
Because Hollywood had the power over me at that point. And I'm really, really strong. So if I'm like boo-hooing,
It did something to you.
Yeah.
listen. And I was like, what you not gonna do is have cracks and crevices all up in me, and I'd be walking around these streets seeping tears. I'm not gonna do it. So it was the way for me to take power and be in control of my own career.
I love that.
And that's what happened.
That's beautiful.
I think that's so inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so inspired, right? As a filmmaker myself, and a person that actually produces their own films, shout out to my boy Adonis out there, you know what I'm saying? 24/7 LC Films, we in the building,
We
you know
do
what I'm
it
saying?
all.
So, we've gone through our own process too of trying to make things happen. And I mean, like you said, you had to take it into your own hands because Hollywood had you,
Yeah.
you know,
Had me in a conundrum.
and that's real. You know what I'm saying? And a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't able to take their own careers in their own hands. They're kind of stuck in the little Hollywood matrix where they gotta wait on roles. They gotta wait on people to give them roles. They gotta network with the right people to get an opportunity. But you took it a step further and you said, I'm finna do it myself, and it's finna be dope, and I'm finna be streaming, and it's finna be my job.
And I think that that's something that I'm learning right now in my journey. Like, just because your life isn't ideal or the opportunities that you want haven't made it to you just yet doesn't mean that you shouldn't create your own and keep working. You know what I mean? So that's why it was like confirmation for me. Like, okay, girl.
Absolutely.
Like,
Because I had to tell somebody the other day, somebody wants to be where you are.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it.
yeah.
We look at other people like, man, I can't wait to get there. There's somebody like, I can't wait to be where Omar. I can't wait to be where Aneu is. I can't wait to be where Swisyzinna is.
Right.
So just, it's somebody back there that hasn't done half of what you've done.
Yeah.
That's how you got to, it's because
real.
it's a mind beep out here.
Yeah.
So you have to remember somebody wants to be you.
Yeah.
Somebody think you the most famous chick they know.
That's facts.
That
That's
is facts. That
Yo,
is facts. When I
I'm
think about where
telling
I'm from,
Yo.
I'm
that's
telling
probably
you.
true.
Yeah, you go home, people like, I'm gonna take a picture with no coming. I'm just saying, it's a real thing.
I think that's super dope that you even had to go through the season of where it was breakdown to break through. You know what I'm saying? And now you're here telling us your story, sharing it with us, and we're in a position to listen to you and be inspired by you. I want to take it, back to the beginning. You said that you started off with the Ouija series.
Yeah.
So, for me, I was kind of scared from, my early jump from my career, right, to take like horror film roles. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we don't play around with the, you know what I'm saying?
Not in my house.
Right.
Not in my
You know what I'm saying? I got offered a role, a short film. I took the role, right? In the short film, it's called Don't Hide. It's actually doing pretty well on YouTube.
Okay.
I'm fighting a demon. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I had to pray on it before I took the role, right?
Yeah.
So what made you say, I'm gonna act in this type of series and do horror and
First
mess
of
around
all,
with
you should pray before you take any role.
that. I mean that part, facts. Absolutely.
And it might have, because it may not have anything to do with the role.
Right.
It
Yeah.
may have everything to do with the people you're working with while you're portraying that role. So
1,000%.
pray before you do anything.
Yeah.
So for me, when I started, I loved horror movies. I've always loved horror movies. I have never had a desire to be in a horror movie. Happenstance. I was working with this other producer who knew this other guy. Shout out to Israel Luna, La Luna Entertainment. He's dope, out of Dallas. And he was in the middle of his auditions. He was actually in callbacks.
Okay.
And so the other producer is like, no, you need to see Swiss. You need to see Swisyzinna. And he's like, I've pretty much already got it cast. Like, what's happening? But I go in, whatever, I book it. Got it.
Period.
So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go do this. And then it was a remake of a movie he had done before called Is Anybody There? So when he does the screening, he is introducing the new cast to the old cast. So he screens it with the old film and said, we're going to do a remake. Now, I hadn't seen this. I don't know anything. I know the gist from the audition, but I don't know how in-depth this thing is. Man, listen, y'all. When I tell y'all I sit up in there and I watched that movie, and that movie scared the bejesus
Sure.
I
out
don't
of
like
me.
horror. Like I can't. I be so
What?
scared. Like no.
And I was like,
Same.
I'm sitting in the chair, and I'm like, I'm about to turn this down. I ain't gonna I ain't gonna be able to do it. The way my pimp set up, I feel like I'm getting called out. And
no.
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be like pimp down,
Right.
but pimp down. I ain't gonna be able to make it. And as I'm saying to myself, I'm not going to do this. I'm about to turn it down. He calls my name at the front of the theater to introduce me as the lead character, and I have to walk. And now I'm in. Like
Right.
I was just. It was the slowest. If it wasn't to mess up the camera angles, I'm telling y'all, it was the slowest get up
Right.
you've ever seen somebody get up. You know, you be watching stuff and you be like, get up, move.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. That's terrifying. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Right.
seriously.
so I didn't go into it to be in horror.
Right.
I actually tried to walk away, but once I did it,
Yep.
my following, it was crazy. As far as the people who love the character and the series and everything, and then we made a 2, and then it was a 3, and then it just kind of
Absolutely.
wow.
grew from there, and I started making them things.
I'm
Sheesh.
at this big age. I can't. Like I can't watch them. Like
Right.
my cousins were so horrible to me.
Man.
You know, they used to make me watch those movies, and then they lock me in the closet or lock me in a bathroom with the lights off. I am traumatized. Like I cannot.
You know what I tell people? I say, if you're scared of horror movies, I bet you can watch mine. I'm telling you.
Look, I watched The Exorcism, Emily Rose, one
My
time.
favorite.
One time. I'll never watch it
If
again.
that's your favorite movie, I definitely.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
scared to watch a movie.
No,
now.
Let me tell
Yo.
you though. No, that is well, it is my favorite. Exorcism of Emily Rose is like my favorite, but I do love the original Exorcist as well.
Crazy.
And then they redid it, and then they lost it, and it was like. It was so good.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just my mind. But the reason why I say you'll like mine is because I think it's more of a homage to like the 70s horror. So it's all, you don't see, it's not a slasher.
Yeah.
It's not blood and guts. It's not any of that.
Yeah.
It's just creepy, and for you it's one of these
A lot of
like
thriller and like suspense. Like
it's like it's that more than in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, if that made any sense. Y'all get it.
Nah, that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real. So you embraced this opportunity to take on horror.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And something that you weren't even expecting. I mean, sometimes God got something for you you don't even know, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, you weren't even in this business to work full time, but now here you are working on Emmy-nominated type shows and projects, and I mean, you're doing it big, right? So you've also got this new project that came out, Death PhD.
Death PhD.
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. How did the concept for that movie come out?
So I wanted to write a movie that had a cast of people of color. I knew I wanted it to be a horror movie, and I knew I wanted the people to look like me.
Yeah.
And I knew that in order to do that, I had to do it successfully, I had to contain the people in one place, because black people are just not going to stay around for the crazy.
Right,
Because
right.
we're going to leave, right? So my first thing was, how do I put us in a situation where you can't leave?
Absolutely.
So that was my first thought process. And then, again, I was getting my MFA and I was on campus.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can make a college movie because I have access to a college, to a full campus. So just taking advantage of what you have. A lot of people get caught up on what they want to do and don't pay attention to what they have. So
That's a gem.
it's, you know what I mean? So I was like, I have access to this. Let me do, because, a lot of times you'll be like, ooh, I want to shoot a movie in the Swiss Alps. And you're like, yeah, but you live in California and it's a mountain right there. Right. So you could just go up Runyon real quick.
Right.
But you keep saying, but my movie is in the Swiss
Yeah,
Alps.
the bigger picture.
But Runyon could get you to the Swiss Alps if you just go on and shoot in Runyon.
Right.
Yeah.
Type of
You
situation.
can get
So
you a grant or
you
something
know.
from your filming.
So, so I came up with, I know I needed to have us in a place where you couldn't leave.
Yeah.
And then I said, what happens, or how do I make that happen? So the concept of Death PhD is these are parapsychology students, so paranormal activity, and they're getting their PhD in parapsychology.
Jeez.
So they go to their class, and if you're getting your PhD, on average it takes about 7 years for you to complete a PhD. But they get the opportunity to forego their dissertation completely, stay one night in this infamous Sugarland house, and record their findings. Yeah. And then they graduate as doctors. So
if you make it out of there,
that's the thing, right? So you're already, the thing about it is you're already a parapsychology student. So there's a part of you that's can't be too scared of the
what you
basics,
know,
because you know it, right? So that's how it starts. And then when you watch the film, you have people who talk about going in. You have people who are like, absolutely not. You have people that are conflicted, and they make their own decisions. But there is a group that go into the house. Yeah. And, who survives the house? That's the question. She's like, the concept. New is like, oh.
That's crazy.
No,
yeah.
that's dope.
It's giving Michael Myers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's like that movie, I like how you put that spin on it. What's it not? It's like House on Haunted Hill.
Ah, yes.
Yep, they were all stuck in the house.
Yes.
But you put the spin on it where it's black people.
Yes.
And they are in college.
Yes.
Going for higher education.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's
amazing.
I've never
That's
seen a concept like that.
Thank you.
With the cast and like that.
Because we get scared.
Yeah.
Still scared to this day.
We get scared. We have, we react to things. And it's so crazy that we always die first, because 9 times out of 10, we're not going to die first.
At all.
Definitely know how to survive. We don't know how to do nothing. We know how to survive.
Right.
Even if that means I have to find out that y'all died on the news,
right.
I'm going to be at home. So, let's be honest.
Like you said, you had to put people in a situation where they couldn't leave because, we up
right.
out of there.
But yeah, I definitely think that there's a space for us in horror. I definitely think that we have a voice in it. Yeah. I definitely think that the world needs to see what it looks like from our perspective versus just being dropped in to someone else's perspective all the time. Yeah. Yeah, we're valid.
I want to ask, so, a lot of what we do in our life has to attach to purpose, right? So you've chosen to go this route, and we don't see a lot of black horror out there. I mean, now we see like Jordan Peele kind of picking it up a little bit. Yeah. how do you think that horror aligns with your ultimate purpose in life?
Well, if you watch any of my horrors, I do what I call spiritual horrors. So all of my horrors thus far have an attachment to religion, to the Bible, to God.
Yeah.
One of the girls who star, Franceli Varela Chatman, she stars in a couple of my horror films, and she said, I always hated horror, and then I get with Swisyzinna, and now I'm in them all the time. And I was like, why do you hate them so much? Like, and she was like, because, the devil, the demon, and they come to you. And I said, well, if you understand the way God works, he always wins.
Right.
So there's nothing that should happen on that screen that's going to, and that's the way I write. I write for God to win. That's why you can always watch my films. I'm going to always make sure that God wins. So it's always going to be in line with my purpose, because I'm going to confront the issues that most of society has without you knowing that you're watching anything that's religious based. You won't know that a whole sermon just happened until it's over. You have no idea.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
I like
always
that.
going to be my through line. It's always good is always going to prevail, even if that means I have to ruffle feathers and make people question their own thoughts and how they interpret the Bible and why they feel the way they do about certain scriptures. Because in Death PhD, there are things that happen in there that will make you question, wait, do I believe that? Like, do I think? But you'll have to get through it to even know what I'm talking about.
She's selling it, honey. She's selling it.
I'm telling you.
I think
I've
that's
had some
dope
beautiful
that you.
things.
I think that's dope that you put the religious concepts in there for horror, and Black people, we religious. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Deeply, right? So, I know that there had to be some kickback from some people about your films.
Yes.
How did you overcome maybe the naysayers about you taking that route, and even just doing horror? I know people just kind of shy away from it.
They
What I'm saying?
do.
I don't want to mess with it, but you taking it your own way, and you say, I'm going to incorporate some principles that can actually teach and educate, and actually inspire people and confront
Yes.
the fears.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you had to be strong within yourself to actually stand up and say, all right, I'm gonna drop these movies, and that's gonna be that.
Yes. Well, I mean, I broke already. I already had that moment on the floor. I'm not breaking. I broke myself. No one else can break me. I did that to me. I had already given away so much of my power. You won't get it again.
Right.
I gave it to an industry, a corporation. You think I'm gonna give it to people?
Right.
Like individual naysayers, little people that won't even get in the ring to fight. Like, I'm in the ring fighting, sweating with a busted eye and a busted lip, and I'm dodging and weaving, and you in the crowd yelling at me,
Right.
talking about don't hit like that, move over here, bob and weave. You're not even in the ring. You're the one I'm supposed to be worried about.
Right.
Absolutely not. I've had people get up and walk out of my films. I love it.
It's crazy.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Do you know how the words had to for you to get up in the middle of a screening and walk out because you just can't take what you're watching?
Yeah.
I've had people in the middle of watching my stuff pause it. My baby sister, and we like this.
Right.
I sent her a cult, Fear is Not of God. It's a short of mine. And she paused it and she called me. She said, "What am I watching and why do you have me? I'm not finishing this."
Yeah.
I said, "I promise you. Go back, sit down, take a shot of tequila, and
watch it.
and finish the movie."
Yeah.
When she finished, she called me back. She was like, "Oh my God." Because it's I really do try to put life in you're going to be in situations in life where you're like, I could quit right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you
absolutely.
just keep going,
Yeah.
there's vindication over there. So I'm not worried about what nobody has to say about me. Keep talking. Because if you keep talking, I keep winning. Listen. Talk about me to a whole bunch of people. And if you don't like me, say it real loud and tell people why. And name the movies that you don't like. And be like, you better not ever go watch that.
Right.
Because then everybody going to watch it. And I just want to say thank you from here for all those that want to hate tomorrow.
I know that's right.
Please.
Shout out to the haters out there.
Please keep hating. It works. Rate me a 5 though while you hate. Like when you Make sure you rate it a 5.
Well, while y'all hating out there, we're gonna take a quick we're gonna take a quick break right now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to our sponsors, 24/7 Live Culture. Back here with, hey, look, you already know, man. Look, I'm damn near tripping just off of sitting with,
You're so silly.
like I said, man, Black horror is crazy, but you've done a lot more than just that. So you have actually been on an Emmy-nominated project,
Yes.
Stepford Side Chicks.
Stepford Side Chick. Yes.
Talk about that and how you got on that project and, you know, your involvement with that.
So I met a young lady. Now, like, we're super tight. My business partner, her name is Lenore Coer Adadaran. And at the time, just Lenore Coer. And she had written Stepford Side Chicks. And she's degreed in writing and all those things. So she's from New York. Excuse me, she's from Georgia. I don't want no problem. She lived in New York. She came here from New York. And she's like, I got this script and I want you to read it. Now, mind you, we talked about when I did my 5 shorts back to back, coming off and all that. So I had invited her. She was in one of them, and then she was like, "How you just gonna do it?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna do it."
'Cause why not, right?
We gonna shoot it.
Yeah.
So she sits down and she was like, "I want you to read this script." And I was like, "All right, I'll read it." So I read the first episode. I was like, Second episode, third episode, sixth episode. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I was like, why is this not in the world? Like, what's happening?
Right.
She's like, I don't know. I call her Lipton because she's so sweet. She's like, I don't know. I was thinking I should do it. And I was like, oh, no, we're doing this. She's like, oh, we're going to do it. I said, oh, we're doing it. And then I ended up on somebody's podcast. And I was like, yeah. And Stepford Side Chicks is coming on this day. And she was sitting there like, what? What are you doing? So I just gave it a release.
Push.
Absolutely. Gave it a release date and everything. And that's when I asked her, I said, if we do it, because I play a character in the show. I play Cheyenne. And if you've ever seen the show, Cheyenne is out of control.
Yeah.
She's out like the hoodest of hood.
Yeah.
All the while, 6-figure, making money, got a job, but she's just about that life.
Yep.
Always don't want her own man. She enjoys other people's men.
Oh.
It's always one.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you discuss those things. So anyway, so we end up doing that, and I didn't want to play that role.
Right.
I wanted to play another role, and she was like, "Can't nobody play the role but you." So I said, "Okay. Well, if I have to play the role, I want to direct the pilot." And episode 6, I believe it was 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. I was like, dang it. Didn't expect it. Thought we was going to do some negotiation.
Yeah.
Cop out.
I know it wasn't. And then on that first day, we might have been in an hour, maybe 2 hours tops.
Yeah.
And me and my DP that I've been working with, we started on that project, and he shot everything that I've done since. If it's my own.
Yeah.
If I'm hired out, then that's something different. But Ethan Saki, we've been working together ever since. And she came outside and was like, how you feel about directing the whole season?
Sheesh.
And I was like, well, let's go.
Wow.
Let's get it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
And
you
we
still got
rocked
what you
it.
wanted, but you ended up getting in the show.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Even more. You got even way more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it was the first project that I had worked on where it was a consistent series, and I was in every episode and directing. And then you hear a lot of directors talk about how hard it is and it's complicated. And at the time, because it is, I'm not taking that away by any means. But at the time, I loved the show so much that I didn't even have time to think about the double work that I was putting on myself. But the beauty of what happened was my entire cast, I didn't know this at the time, but my entire cast came to me was like, we're always on point, because if you can show up and direct the season and know your lines, there's no way we're not going to show up ready.
That's amazing.
So when we would get there, it would be crazy. It would just be crazy. I would just be doing stuff like, let's just do another take, just because y'all want, we want to do it. Like, let's see what happens. Let's just play.
Yeah.
Because everybody just showed up and they rocked. It was an amazing group of people, amazing talent. Steph for Side Chicks is dope. It's now streaming on Tubi. It came out initially as a web series.
Tonight. I know that's right.
Got to.
It started out as a web series, and then we went through negotiations. We was talking to a network, and then it fell through at the last minute. And then we went back and recently, last year, beginning of the year, someone reached out to me and asked me if they could pick it up, and now it's streaming on Tubi. It's wild, but don't watch it around your children. Don't blame me, and don't call me at the end of season 2 talking about where season 3 is, because I already told you.
I'm already gonna call you. Sorry.
See,
it's too late.
Now see,
Luckily, I don't have children.
Right.
I get more. I can be in the store and they be like, "Where does season 3 at?" I'd be like, first of all, you make me like a drug dealer.
Right.
Season 3, that's not the way it works.
Right.
I need $2.
I don't think people understand really how hard it is to actually, directing is enough, acting is enough, but to do both and to do it as a whole series is crazy. So how did you find balance to be able to show up and give your best version of yourself in both roles?
I think at the time, acting I can do that while I'm asleep. So that wasn't a challenge for me. I think at the time I was like, if these people are going to keep trusting me with projects and calling me a director, I better show up. Mm-hmm. And I'm always going to show up for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to let Pookie and them down. But if I have to choose between me and Pookie, then Pookie ain't going to get it. Okay? Because I'm going to show up for me.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, all I have is my name. That's all I have.
That's real.
If God takes me out of here tomorrow, all y'all have is what I left behind and how you experience me. So I'm going to try to make sure that anyone who experiences me whole and complete.
Yeah.
I love that. What would you give? What advice would you give to someone who maybe is in your position that's grinding really hard, but they find that they don't have that strength to really, keep going?
Just fall apart real quick. Just go ahead and fall apart. Just be honest with yourself. Say it hurts.
Yeah.
Stop fronting. Stop calling back home, talking about you out here killing it. Stop taking pictures at brunch. Yeah. You might not need to go to brunch. It's a struggle out here.
It's real.
You might have to prioritize. But if you need to fall apart, you need to go ahead and fall and get it out. Yeah. And put sound to it. Put sound to your pain. Scream, holler, yell, get on the floor, kick, and get up. And do it all over again. That's the only way. That's it. That's the only way to do it. You need to do one thing that you love towards your dream every day. Do one thing. At the end of the year, you would have done 365 things. The reason why people beat you out is because you quit.
I think that information right there, having to fall down that's not what people even want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
want to hear it's all good and it's going to be the yellow brick road and it's just going to be working out. We got these ideas, man. This is the one, right? But you've emphasized that you have to literally fall apart so that you can rebuild, and you've shown that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate the resilience. I'm really very inspired to, hear your story. What can we expect next from you?
So, guys, I am torn between two things. And one, see, this is the thing about Hollywood, right? You can't really say what you want to say because you know that it's a thing. You can't say it, so I'll say it like this. One thing is something that I feel like or has been presented to me, like if you get this in your bag, this can offer you so many more jobs, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're like, ooh. Okay, that's enticing. Yep. But this other thing feels like it's confirmation and it's coming from different places, like words will pop up. And I'm like, what? Why did you say Black Curtain? Like, what? Maybe I need to do that movie I thought about that's called Black Curtain. Like, it's so things like that is happening. So right now I'm torn between, and this is what we were talking about before, I'm torn between that thing that you're telling me you're going to give me. Yeah. If I do this thing. or just going with the thing that keeps coming up in my spirit to be like, and I don't mind this thing because it's still me.
Right.
It's not me giving away myself or switching gears or anything like that. But this right here just feels a little bit more ahead of the game, if you will. You know what I mean? Because I just be doing stuff and it just be working. So I'd be like, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. And people like, why would you do that? Like, I don't know. Why wouldn't you do it? So it's a film. Yeah. I am in conversation with a couple of distribution companies trying to see what would be best. I have some people like, do whatever you want to do based off of Death PhD. We gonna stream it. We gonna back you. Yeah. And then I have other people like, let me think. So just it's two completely contrasting things. So you just gotta find yourself in the middle of somebody else's crazy.
That's
and
very
be okay.
real. Yeah. You said a lot, man. I think even you just have an option to choose between different projects is a win itself because some people are just trying to find their way. Yeah. So, we look forward to seeing what you produce next.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Go watch the stuff for
Side Chicks.
I thought she was about to say she was going to watch Death PhD.
I
was like, I got her.
I will watch it, but I'm going to watch it in the daytime.
You can definitely watch it in the day and have somebody with you.
My best friend's house and make her watch it with me instead of her couch.
Candle nightmares out here.
It's okay. And it's black people, so you're going to be laughing and all kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll let her laugh.
You'll be all right, I promise.
Go ahead and tell everybody where they can follow you, where we can find you. So
you can follow me, find me on any social media. It's Swisyzinna, SWISYZINNA, and just check me out. Hit me up, send me a message, let me know that you found me from here. You follow me, I'll follow you back. That means something today. Yes. So
social
media, because I suck at it. Right. I suck at it, y'all. I suck at it. I'm sorry. Okay. I don't know. I'm like, I be in the moment, and I just be doing stuff, and it be fun, and then people be like this, and I be like, but if you look at me, we can talk. Yep. But you can't because you're in the phone. So I be messing up. But follow me. I'll follow you back, and it's all good. And I be posting, and I put on Instagram. I tell people all the time. I do have Facebook. On Facebook is where I usually look for like crew. Okay. Instagram is where I look for cast. So they go hand in hand. You pick one, I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Pick both of them, you might be covered. That's all I'm saying. Don't be calling me like New about to call me, fussing at me, because I don't want to. Season 3.
Hey.
Already, season 3.
Let's go, man. We got the Black Horror Queen in the building. Y'all know where to find her, you know what I'm saying? Instagram, Facebook. Go watch her films on Vudu, Fandango, Tubi, wherever you can find them, man. Let's go, man. Tap in, step for Side Chicks, Deaf PhD. We got Swisyzinna in the building, man. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's so fun.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
I love you.
Yes. I'm Omar Cook.
I'm New.
I'm Swisyzinna.
Hey, and that's our episode of BoomBox Weekly. Let's go.